that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past.
World War II is filled with mysteries that have puzzled historians for decades. In this video, we uncover shocking secrets, hidden truths, and dark chapters of the war, some that rewrite history. From covert missions to painful betrayals, these revelations will leave you thinking. Join us as we explore the forgotten side of World War II. Number 12. The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In the final days of World War II, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki became two of history's most devastating events. While long viewed as psychological strikes to force Japan's surrender, declassified documents later revealed strategic motives. Hiroshima wasn't just a civilian city. It housed Japan's Second Army headquarters, major troop deployments, communication centers, and weapons factories. Nagasaki, too, was a vital military hub with shipyards, arms manufacturers, and steelworks essential to Japan's war effort. Despite their military value, the human toll was catastrophic. Tens of thousands were killed instantly, and countless more suffered from radiation exposure in the aftermath. The bombings didn't just end a war, they ushered in the nuclear age. With their unmatched destructive power, they sparked global debates about morality, necessity, and the future of warfare. Hiroshima and Nagasaki remain haunting symbols of technological devastation and a sobering reminder of the cost of total war. Number 11. The truth about Hitler's death. Adolf Hitler's death has long fueled one of World War II's most persistent mysteries. On April 30, 1945, as Berlin fell, Hitler reportedly took his own life in the Führer bunker. But without a public body or trial, speculation soared. Some believed he escaped to Argentina. Others imagined secret bases in Antarctica or even space. The Soviet Union deepened the mystery by concealing the discovery of Hitler's charred remains. A jawbone and skull fragment were hidden in Moscow archives, while Cold War propaganda blurred the facts. In 2009, claims surfaced that the skull fragment belonged to a woman, reigniting debate. But in 2017, a French forensic team confirmed the truth. Hitler's jawbone matched perfectly with his dental records, verified by his dentist's assistant. Rotten gums, missing teeth, and cyanide traces all aligned. The evidence was clear. Hitler died in 1945. The real mystery wasn't whether he survived, but why the world clung to the doubt for so long. Number 10. The Nazi Gold Train Mystery. For decades, whispers told of a Nazi gold train, an armored convoy filled with looted treasure, priceless art, and possibly secret weapons hidden deep beneath the forests of Poland. As Nazi Germany crumbled in 1945, rumors spread of trains vanishing into tunnels near Wallbridge, never to re-emerge. In 2015, the legend roared back. Two amateur treasure hunters, Piotr Koper and Andreas Richter, claimed they'd found the lost train using ground-penetrating radar. Scans showed a 90-meter metallic shape buried near the Owl Mountains. Excitement exploded. Thermal imaging, magnetic readings, and military investigations followed. The area was sealed off. Tourists arrived in droves. Wallbridge turned into a media hotspot. Locals sold gold train souvenirs. Hopes soared. But after all the buzz, nothing. No train, no treasure, just dirt and dashed dreams. Still, the mystery lingers. The Nazi gold train remains hidden. Maybe myth, maybe real, but forever, a story the world refuses to let go. Number 9. Hitler's bunker. In the aftermath of World War II, the fate of Adolf Hitler's last stronghold, the Führer bunker in Berlin, remained a mystery. For decades, especially during the Cold War, East German authorities concealed its location, erasing it from maps and building over it. Some believed it had been destroyed. Others thought it lay hidden beneath modern streets. But the truth was simpler. The bunker remained largely intact, buried beneath a plain apartment block and parking lot near the former Reich Chancellery. Originally built as an air raid shelter, it was later expanded into a fortified underground complex where Hitler spent his final days. Soviet forces captured it in 1945, documenting everything, but kept the findings secret. Only in the 1990s did access to Soviet archives reveal its exact location, just a short walk from the Brandenburg Gate. Today, the surface is unremarkable, but beneath it lies the final stage of the Third Reich, hidden for decades, yet no longer lost to history. Number 8. The Nazi uranium cubes. For years, fear persisted that Nazi Germany came dangerously close to developing an atomic bomb. Rumors of secret labs, missing scientists, and hidden uranium fueled the myth. But a rare artifact, a 2-inch uranium cube, tells a different story. Now housed at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, the cube is one of over 1,000 made for Germany's failed nuclear program. Using radiochronometry, scientists dated it to the early 1940s, confirming its role in Nazi atomic experiments. Yet the program was riddled with problems. German scientists lacked critical materials like heavy water and couldn't achieve a sustainable chain reaction. They also had no proper facilities to build or test a bomb. Allied efforts, especially the sabotage of Norway's heavy water plant, further derailed progress. Rather than evidence of a near breakthrough, the uranium cube stands as a quiet testament to failure, a reminder that Nazi Germany never came close to mastering the atom, despite the myths that lingered for decades. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 7. RMS Lancastria sinking. In June 1940, one of Britain's worst maritime disasters struck, but for decades, it was buried in silence. The troop ship, times HMT Lancastria, was evacuating British forces near St. Nazaire when German bombers attacked. Within 20 minutes, the vessel capsized and sank, killing thousands. Fearing mass panic, Winston Churchill issued a D-notice to suppress news coverage. Survivors were ordered to remain silent, and families received only vague reports. Most simply heard missing. The true death toll remains uncertain. Estimates suggest up to 9,000 were aboard, but only about 2,400 survived. It was a loss greater than the Titanic and Asterisk Lusitania combined. For years, the disaster was hidden from public view. Only decades later, through declassified documents and survivor testimonies, did the full scale emerge. The sinking of the Lancastria stands as one of World War II's most tragic and overlooked episodes, a story of chaos, censorship, and a sea of unanswered questions. Number 6. The disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off from Florida on a routine training mission and were never seen again. The squadron was led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, a seasoned combat pilot. After a practice bombing run, Taylor reported that both his compasses had failed. Believing he was over the Florida Keys when he was actually above the Bahamas, he made a critical navigational error. That mistake led the entire formation deeper into the Atlantic. Radio transcripts captured the rising confusion among the pilots, yet military protocol prevented them from breaking formation. As the hours passed, weather worsened, visibility dropped, and night fell. Investigations later determined that a tragic mix of compass failure, disorientation, and poor weather pushed Flight 19 far off course into the vast ocean, leaving no trace behind and cementing its place in aviation legend. Number 5. The Spy Who Vanished Twice. Imagine helping win World War II by deceiving the Nazis, then vanishing for nearly 40 years by faking your own death. That's the astonishing true story of Juan Pujol Garcia. To British intelligence, he was Agent Garbo, a master of deception so skilled the Germans never suspected he was a double agent. Motivated by hatred for fascism, Pujol initially offered his services to the British, who rejected him. Undeterred, he began his own fake spy ring, sending believable reports from Lisbon and Madrid to German intelligence. The Nazis trusted him completely. Eventually, the British recognized his value and brought him to London. He became vital to Operation Fortitude, feeding false intelligence that misled the Germans about the location of the D-Day invasion, saving countless Allied lives. After the war, fearing revenge, Pujol faked his death in 1948. Even his family thought he was gone. But in the 1980s, a British journalist discovered the truth. Pujol was alive, living quietly in Venezuela. Number 4. Norwegian water sabotage. The target was the Vemork power plant in Norway, hidden deep in snow-covered mountains. During World War II, it was producing heavy water, crucial for nuclear research. The Nazis saw it as a path to the bomb. The Allies had to shut it down. Enter Operation Gunnerside, a daring sabotage mission by elite Norwegian commandos. After trekking through harsh winter terrain, they infiltrated the facility, planted explosives, and vanished into the night. The blast crippled production. Later, when the Nazis tried to transport salvaged heavy water, resistance fighters sank the ferry carrying it. Post-war records confirmed the impact. The sabotage efforts severely damaged, perhaps doomed, Nazi Germany's atomic ambitions. It was one of the most successful covert operations of the war. Number 3. The floating bombs from Japan. Japanese balloon bombs drifting across the Pacific might sound surreal, but during World War II, they posed a real and deadly threat. Between 1944 and 1945, mysterious explosions and strange debris began appearing across the western United States. Japan had launched over 9,000 hydrogen-filled balloons from Honshu, riding the newly discovered jet stream toward North America. Made of paper or silk, they carried incendiary and anti-personnel bombs designed to ignite wildfires and spread panic. Roughly 300 reached the US, Canada, and Mexico. But winter weather prevented major fires, and most bombs were quietly recovered. Authorities censored the story to avoid public panic and deny Japan any victory. Tragedy struck on May 5, 1945, when 6 civilians, mostly children, were killed near Bly, Oregon, after discovering one of the devices. Only then did the US disclose the bizarre truth behind these drifting weapons of war. Number 2. The vanishing of Glenn Miller. At the height of his fame, swing icon Glenn Miller vanished just before Christmas in 1944. He boarded a small military plane in England, en route to Paris to perform for US troops. But the aircraft never arrived. Miller wasn't even supposed to be on that flight. He hitched a last-minute ride to avoid delays. By the time anyone realized he was missing, the Battle of the Bulge had begun, and the mystery was lost in the chaos of war. For years, his disappearance remained unsolved, until a chilling theory emerged. Eyewitnesses reported that Allied bombers, aborting a mission, dropped their bombs over the English Channel. Miller's plane may have flown directly into the falling payload. He was 40 years old. A celebrated band leader, a US Army major, and a beacon of morale during dark times. Glenn Miller vanished without a trace, leaving behind music, mystery, and a haunting silence. Number 1. The vanishing of Raoul Wallenberg. Raoul Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat, became a quiet hero during World War II. In Nazi-occupied Hungary, he saved thousands of Jews using forged passports and, quote, safe houses protected by the Swedish flag. But in January 1945, as Soviet troops entered Budapest, Wallenberg was arrested and vanished. The Soviets claimed he died of a heart attack in 1947, yet no body, certificate, or grave was ever found. For decades, hope persisted. Witnesses claimed to have seen him alive in Soviet prisons long after his reported death. But the truth remained hidden. In the early 2000s, Russia admitted the Soviets had wrongfully detained him, though details remain scarce. Most historians now believe Wallenberg was executed in Moscow's Lubyanka prison in 1947. His legacy endures, not just as a symbol of courage, but as one of history's great unsolved disappearances. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching.